Okay, so here we are. MDawg at Elk Lake. What level are we? 13, and we're going to try a little trolling. If it continues this slow, it may not be a long-term thing we try, but it's still early. Let's give it a chance. I think the thing that we got to figure out is what... We know the spiker's going to work great. What else could work? We could put both spikers on, and that's fine. I mean, we could do that some. Does trolling the spinnerbait ever work? I've tried this before. I think it's fine. Feel like 18-meter clip at least. But yeah, like if we're not catching stuff on the spiker, that's a problem. You can use that reel all the way to copper with 25 or 30. Really? So you're not just using that spin fishing, you're talking about using that for just random stuff, huh? Bottom fishing? Because of the mech weight? If I start getting bite-size gizzards, that's gonna be funny. Yeah, 8.2 seems kind of weak for the spin or for the bottom fishing, unless you're talking about like bream and stuff like that. I picked up the wrong one? Question mark? Well, at least we know we're making some silver. Get a little silver on MDawg at this awesome copper dink spot. Actually, that probably is enough strength though, for like a little more than bream. If you think about, we should go wide here probably. If you think about like kind of burbot, it's always hard to think of what are the fish that are in that next tier. Like if you're going for something a little bit bigger than bream, but you're not like full on adult carp, but like burbot and that kind of stuff. Maybe small carp. I mean, I would, so what is that like? It's kind of like Saber 60. That's one question, is why bird over Saber 60? Y'all like that bird better than Saber 60? Now Saber 60 for the spinning maybe isn't quite as good a fit for copper, but for bottom fishing it's good, right? Anyway, it's like burbot and char and stuff used to be the classic example of stuff we would bottom fish. It's a little bit more than bream. Yeah, I hear you, Dark U. I mean, I guess you can make it work in a pinch. I think Talon, I'm guessing what Talon is saying is that you've got that heavy mech weight, so as long as the fish isn't too big, you have some options there. But I never like encouraging newer players to flirt too much with disaster or locking stuff up that early. Yeah, Narg is awesome. Oh yeah, no. Now at copper, that could be a lot of fun if you're on an F1 smaller stuff spot for sure. I agree with that. I wonder if the max drag upgrades at all. Have you looked at that, Dark U? To see if they if it's got any upgradable friction brake? Yeah, this may just be too slow. We may just have to figure out where do we want to go spin fish at. Unfortunately, I was hoping this was gonna This might do something, but some days I've trolled and I've been like, ah, this is okay. And then some days it's like this. Can't do it. Well, best bite rate should be these two spikers together. And even this right now might just be too slow. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Saber 60 just depends on if you can get a spot at bear that you're mostly catching like barbel and stuff, smaller carp. But once you get into, if you're getting 10 plus kilo carp on the regular, then you got to be okay with some fights. Yeah, it probably just depends on your personal tolerance for how difficult fish are to get in. Alright, do we need to turn this boat around? Is it that big? Oh, I just locked it up on accident. What are we running here? 5.4. But it's just a little... Oh my gosh, I cannot lock this setup up, by the way. Alright, yeah, I think we're chasing. If we lock this up, we're putting incredible amounts of pressure on the... rod. Yeah, what's up, Chronix? Doing well, how are you doing? Yeah, I hear you, Dark You. Oh, really? Float fishing, or how have you been doing it? What is this? Is this like a... Wow. A nice white bass. That's cool, Talon. Yeah, if you enjoy doing that kind of stuff. Jigging rig in the 4.5. You got the freshwater drum yesterday. Wow. That's amazing. And we're off. Such a nice fish, yeah. Wait, you got a spotted gar trophy? Or just a random spotted gar? Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, we've had the most success trolling in this area, obviously. Maybe time of day, too, mattered. This is why I want another upgraded setup, because I feel like this setup is just so weak. If we're going to actually troll, we don't really want to be using this. We're in the white bass lane right now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, now we're getting some points. We're up to 24%. So the trick here is, during the day, using these spikers, all of a sudden we've got a good bite rate. We're trolling in the right spot. And now maybe we're leveling our spin fishing at a decent rate. We're trying to unlock those skirted the jigging rig, basically. Nice bluegill. I mean, that's like the perfect fish for us right now, based on what we can handle. The free reel isn't it overpriced to repair that now? Is it even a worthwhile option? I thought they like made the price pretty expensive to repair it at this point. I used to love doing that, but like when it first came out, it was accidentally too cheap. But it is kind of a fun thing to do if you've got plenty of silver, just to like fully repair it, make it as nice as possible. Kind of a cool little flex. Oh, is that right? Changing lure? Okay. Another orangey. Bluegill. Oh, it's reddier. Wow. Look at that. Yeah, we're kind of getting some nice fish. Seems like this side of the lake has been better for us. 24.2 has been better for us trolling. The eastern side, northeastern side. Oh, it jumped off. Man, that was a decent fish too. Well, that's another thing that's cool about Elk Lake. This is now a much easier first place to learn how to do trolling than Corey. Based on what your gear strength is. Oh, nice, Nom. Hope you get something fun on your first attempt. Oh gosh. Like another bluegill. Ooh, 24.3. Yeah, sire, it's definitely for some people it would have been a nice thing to have when they first started. I definitely think some people will get into the game and stay with the game longer than they would have now that Elk Lake is available from the start. I love how the Spiker 2 is outperforming the Spiker 18. At least in terms of bite rate. Can't wait for FG after. Yeah, that could be annoying, Nom, for sure. This is the one that still has the 20s on, right? Okay. I want to get the fresh stack of banana PVA, because we definitely want to keep PVA on this bigger one for sure. We might let it drop off at least one of the two other side ones. I don't even want to think about it, but that gizzard shad is bait fish size. Is that another bluegill? Yeah. No gar for me, Pariah. No gar yet for me. I did try earlier today. on my main account, and we did not get one. What about you? Have you got one? $24.5. The Shattered Tree area. Nice. What'd you catch it on? Did you actually catch it on the red and black jig? Yes, I agree, sire. We're just farming dinks and koi over here. Pretty crazy. I'm thinking I might stay on the eastern side of the map while we're trolling. It's been... Now, it could have been time of day, but it feels like it's just been better over here than it was on the other side. Which means we want to turn around at some point. Ultralight region, that's amazing. Big enough that I should fully engage? Or are we good? Nah, it's not that big. Started to run. Now it's chilling. It is an orangey though, which is cool. Decent size orangey. Alright, I'm going to stop trolling till I get this in. Let's make sure we don't have a fish on here. No, we don't. It's big enough that I do want to somewhat focus. Nice little fish. But every time I get it a little bit moving towards me with some momentum, it kind of throws its head and starts heading the other direction. Oh, like that. I shouldn't have given it that space there. All right, we've got it as long as I don't give it any more space. Nice little fella. Maybe 12, 15 kilos? I don't know. 19 kilos. Dang. Okay. Okay. Hard to tell with the shape of those oranges. Alright, we can get going again. Another orangey. Okay. $24.6 with that smallmouth bass. All right, let's aim more for our little patch of grass out here in the middle. We know we can get a couple nibbles off of bluegill or something, gizzard, reddy or something out here. There's 24.7. So close. Another bluegill. And that's 24.8. So any fish at this point could potentially put us at skirted jig or jigging rigs in general. Okay, I hear you, I hear you. Wow. This is a fish and not a mystery snare, right? This just doesn't look right to me. Oh. I have no fish icon. Okay. Okay. Good point. $9.915 pike, huh? So that'll teach us. We catching earth on that one. Yeah, we ran apparently right over the middle. Oh, I wanted to check really quick. Just it's too close to nighttime. We'll check on whatever in a second. All right, is there something else we could try? I'm gonna make this spoon work so badly. I'm using banana at copper. I wanted to try that, like, red cherry, whatever, spicy cherry, whatever cherry it was, but every time I see somebody posting on how much silver they're making on the 14 size boilie banana, I just was like, yeah, let's just go back to banana. I know banana's been working good. I used it yesterday. All right, so our PVA has just fallen off on our first rod. This is our first fish we've caught. We did not replenish the PVA on the first rod. We do still have it on the middle and third rod, though. The spot should be pretty well fed by now either way. But this copper spot has been great. We're just farming dinks, you know? Which I don't mind at all. We've got some nice oranges mixed in. I've only got one rod with 20 boilie. The other two are 14. Yeah, spicy cherry. That's what I was gonna try. And then I just talked myself into banana again. The monkey koi, they love banana. I will take it, whatever it is. $61.53. That's the other spot, right? All right, we finally got a bite on spiker because we're back on this side of the lake again, but still can't figure out how to get that spoon to work. Give it another couple minutes. So copper, 42 minutes, we're at 29 fish. If we didn't have the 20 boilie on, that would help a little bit, but it would also be even faster bite rate. So instead of going back to the spiker on this rod, let's try like the spin shot 1002. And then maybe the Aquila as well. Just to try something else. We still have a spiker on the other rod though. You know, what that means to me, sire, is that you could just pretty much, like, non-stop, I'd stay at each spot for 2 hours, but you could pretty much just farm silver at an incredible rate at copper right now because of having 2 spots like this that's going off. It's just, that's insane. All right, let me, I'm gonna start a cup of coffee and we'll take a quick bio break. Oh, goodness. Did I get spooled yet? Close. Yeah, the gizzard, all bait fish at elk feel like it's pretty slow, doesn't it? Oh, goodness. So first fish on the spin shot. Oh, Xander. That is frustrating. What is that, a little white bass or something? Oh, we unlocked jigging. Jigging has been unlocked. Which for Elk Lake, what is actually most significant is the skirted jig, not just the jigging rig. So now that we're at 25%, we can do jigging rig or we can do skirted jig. So let's see if the skirted jig is actually available in stock anywhere. So we're level 13. We technically could go to Corey and Belaya as well, but I am just curious. We know which micro jig is crushing it right now, and I have a feeling it could be a little difficult to find, but we'll find out. All right, so here are the jigs. Yeah, we could also do the... Yeah, I don't know. Once you unlock jigging, it seems like spin fishing gets even better at Elk Lake. Okay, so we know that the micro... Honestly, probably both of these. Okay, so it's this one, right? This has been the one that's been just awesome. And I would imagine this one is at least decent. Is there another... Let's see, what's the test on our jigs? Goes up to so 10.5, so like that one's fine. Anything under 10.5? Is there any other jigs that chat you all recommend? 10.5 is fine. 7 is fine. The Bass Hunter series would be fine. Fine. The Perfect Swimmers. If I have a favorite jig, almost all of them are actually fine. Only the largest ones are too big. I feel like mostly what I've used so far on my main account has been these micro jigs, but maybe the finesse one. It's like different colors. Well, I'm excited that they're all in stock here. That's pretty cool. We haven't caught many super freaks, have we? No, that's the first one. Um, not gonna cast far, is it? The ones you don't bring home to mother? Wait, what are we talking about? Alright, let's go try this one out. Thank you, Talon. Let me go look at that one real quick. Rick James joke? Alright, so Talon, you say 1/4 finesse 005. This one. Yeah, I think that's right, Xander. I think it is the weighted. Remember, if for some reason it doesn't fit or whatever, you can always return it. So it's only 7 grams, which means we can use it with this setup. Speed 40, nice. Okay. Now we've got some finesse options and some micro jig options. See, what were we gonna go try? Oh yeah, that spot where we were seeing some red ears come in and stuff. That seemed like a cool little spot. That does look like a cool spot, but that's not it. These pretty trees out here. Think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So we're just kind of aiming at the 2.2 over here. See how far this casts. We're not going to be casting it like we do on the main account, but the 7 gram one will go a little farther. Oh shoot, maybe we should go out to the bass spot now that we have jigging unlocked. I bet if we sold our fish, we could even afford to get. Oh, we can't do Texas rig, but we can do jigging rig. We could probably get that. Let's see here. Having a hard time keeping jig step going. White bass. Oh, it is overnight. Can't forget that it's overnight right now. Going to affect how we're doing. All right, we're at 42 fish. We've been here just under an hour at Copper. Been very good. Right at the end, another white bass. All right, let's try the finesse one. Now, I do wish it was daytime. I think we'd get a better feel for... Oh, I still have that clip on. Need to take the clip off for one thing. Yeah, I guess with like all baits and lures and stuff, that's why it's a good idea not to over purchase, just buy one or two at a time. see what's working and then start there. Take that clip off. I think we could cast this pretty far. We're not going to get 40, but yeah, we got 30 meters, which is great. And we don't have full points either. We've got spinning reel, but we don't have anything in spinning rod, which is probably where we need to start putting points next. So we can get a little bit two of every color. Having a real hard time getting jig step all of a sudden. All right, there we go. There we go, and there we go. All right, now what I'm curious about. Now what I am curious about is how this, you know, this jigging rig, this micro rig is what we used in that bass spot at night for crappie. So kind of what I want to know is, what if we set up, obviously we can't do Texas rig, which is what I was having so much success with on my main. And we need to remember that our test is only 10.5. But we could set up a jigging rig. So we need a jig head. What is the... We need to think about weight here. So if we used this, I think it's the 3.5 actually, right? So that's 3 grams. Is there a jig head that's about 7 grams? That's big enough? That only goes up to large 4. I mean, we just want to get as big as we can, basically. Like, this would be good. That's 30 gram. 30 gram. 25 gram. 28 gram. But there is a, is it the featherhead? Is that the lightest one? That looks like the lightest one. But even that, but that one doesn't go up to the size we want. Now this one, oh, okay. We can always return it. All right, that's a large one. And then that. Ooh, we made it. We did it, chat. Now, do we need to do we need to have a backup, or are we okay with just having to re-travel if whoa. What have we got here? Talon, I'm so curious what you're talking about. 6-1 on the top. So when I hit new and scroll down, I'm assuming you mean this one. Which the problem is, I don't think we have oh, you're talking about the hook? Okay, gotcha. I don't think on our setup we can use that lure just because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little too heavy. We could go with this large 2. So we could use that one. Similar. Alright, we've almost got this stinking dinks in. Oh, that linear, man. He took us for a little bit of a ride. Okay. Okay, nice sorry, Sandra. Alright. So let's go try the spot that we were doing so well on earlier on the main account and just see what it would be like on this account. We've got the skirted jig now, and we've got this this new actually classic jigging setup. We'll try it out. See how it goes. Again, with the Texas rig, this was a very nice spot. We were primarily catching smallmouths and white bass, but they were some pretty decent sized strong fish. So if we can hook into any of those on this regular jigging rig, we may be chasing fish a little bit. We'll see. Yo, did you catch a trophy? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Nice brown trout. Nice brown trout. One shot brownie. Love it. Is in the building. That's funny. All right, where are we headed? Oh, yeah. Totally pro drifter greetings. Oh, nice pro drifter. Okay. So we kind of want to switch back and forth. See which one works better, if any. Between the micro jig and this lobster. The first thing is getting on jigging pretty consistent. All right, there's jig step and there's a fish. All right. Our setup may just be too small for this spot. What are we running? We're not the one running. The fish is running, but yeah, I don't know. See what this is. Largemouth. Poof. A 1.4 largemouth, and it felt like we were getting pushed to the max there, huh? Well, if I was brand new to the game and I finally got 25% spin fishing and I was able to come out to this spot with a very inexpensive setup and bait and have a chance at largemouth bass, I'd be pretty excited. The bass feel extra strong today? Oh my goodness. And in a spot like this, if you can make it work, your XP per hour is going to shoot up significantly. Catching smallmouths. We're getting points in spin fishing almost every fish. The amount of XP we're getting is a lot more. So this is where, to me, it's like Elk Lake really starts to shine for new players. Okay, this is just one nice little fish after another, huh? Wow. All right. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this just got real. Okay. So we know this is just absolutely killing it. I mean, you are on the fast track. So what about this one? We've got the 4 gram and the 7 gram. Let's try the 4 gram first. On my main account, switching to this was catching some smaller species like crappie and stuff, and then still the occasional smallmouth. You might have to slow this one down a little bit. This one may feel a little more appropriate for our level. Is that right, Pro Drifter? Yeah, I mean, if we start hooking into catfish that are too big on a account like this, we would be cooked for sure. So I'm really curious how well the 7 gram one would do here. Let's give it a little spin. I think all I tried was the 4 gram earlier today. I mean, nothing. I don't think anything's going to be as good as that blue lobster is right now. I think we need to slow this one down. I might be wrong. We might need to speed it up. There we go. Okay, we did catch something. All right, white crappie. Yeah, I think if you want to get um if you want to get white crappie and that kind of stuff with the occasional smallmouth bass, oh, and a white bass, this might be the answer. But if you just want to like push it with all the bass, then that lobster seems like it's the better option. But like overnight, I would switch to this if the other one slowed down because you're going to get the crappie and stuff. If the bass aren't biting frequently enough overnight. 25.9, there's a bluegill. But it's just hard to compete with this setup in this spot right now, I think. Go back to 30. See if we can do it again. What's up, Underdog? No particular reason. Honestly, Pro Drifter, I hadn't even considered it. That was a nice fish too. I mean, there's no whatever you think is. What am I trying to say? Whatever you think is the nicest 6,000 reel for copper. In terms of the silver you're making at copper, there's no reason not to get that if you're wanting to. There's no question that we could purchase 6,000 reels that would be slightly more efficient or stronger. We could run 31.7 or whatever on all three setups and not have to fight the dinks and stuff as much. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a reasonable. It's not a bad idea. Like, we've got plenty of silver. I fish at copper all the time. Should I sort of re-look at the options and like create the most efficient copper setups possible? Probably. I might do that. You know, the question is, would you go Venga 6 over the Zyman P Series 60? Razor, for one, really likes those. He feels like the power is there and also the speed. I think he really likes those as his top copper reels, just in terms of fighting big fish, but also just getting lots of fish in efficiently. So I haven't even thought about the Vengas, but if I decide to like upgrade to the min-max, the best copper reels, then I would at least have to consider them. Okay, Sire, what are you saying? The silver increase, the silver per hour after 25% has to be. Oh, I agree. Well, certainly the fun. I think the silver would too, unless you're float fishing. If you're float fishing elk and you get really efficient at float fishing it, because of all the cafe orders and just the bite rate, I feel like that is also a really good silver per hour. But if you're leaning into spin fishing, unlike unlocking these different jigging rigs and being able to suddenly target bass a little better, I agree with you. It's got to be a significant increase in silver and fun. And so on my main account, one difference is we were using the Texas rig. Another difference is we're running 2/0 hooks. But until we upgrade a setup as a new player, new account at Elk, it's just hard to get the weight of the heavier hooks, right? But yeah, we were doing Texas rig, 2/0 jigging type hooks. Of course, on Texas rig and Carolina rig, they're slightly different. They're not actually jigging hooks, but offset or whatever. But just larger hooks, so I feel like we were getting a little different result with the different rig type and different hook size. But this is still very good, so I think you're right. And so far, so many of the active, really good spots here at Elk, a lot of what you've seen people hitting them with, if they're spin fishing, are the jigging setups. do think it's interesting. We are hitting white bass after white bass. White crappie as well, bluegill. We haven't had the smallmouth in a while. I'm going to see if I can cast it a little farther, slow it down just a little bit. See if I can get us back on the, either the smallmouth or the largemouth, if it's possible. All right, maybe it's faster. Let's go up to, I'm actually going to go up to like 50. I'm going to try getting jig step with 50. Is that a crappie? White bass. 26.5. Yeah, we're getting consistent bite rate even though we're not hitting jig step. Yo, Quex2141, thank you so much for the sub. And that is a little smallmouth. We'll take that. All right, so if we're not hitting it at that, let's go down to, I don't know. I don't know. Keep trying though. I mean, we did hit it some at like 30 and 35, so we could go back to that, but it didn't feel like even at that it was that consistent. My suspicion is this. There's jig step. It's a little more finicky than what I'm used to on my main account because we're using such a light setup. The hook hardly weighs anything, which has got to affect how consistently you get that jig step movement in the water. You know, if you think about a 40-gram jig head on my main account, that's weighing it down, so the motion's going to be a little different versus this little 7.5 gram. Maybe it's like almost floating a little more. We're not getting that jig step quite as easily. But you can usually find the speed and, uh-oh. We've got a fish on. Oh, we've got two fish on. Okay. Oh, is that a butterfly peacock? Ooh. Love it. And this is a pretty nice orangey too. These butterfly peacock models, it's like the greens that they used on this model. It's just a striking, really striking look. Very pretty. That's almost 5,000 XP, by the way, for that little fellow. All right, I gotta start paying attention again. See if we can get jig step going. I'm trying to do one full rotation jig step. Whoa. That's gonna be a bass. Oh, it popped off. Very frustrating. Oh, it came back. His smaller cousin. His smaller cousin came back. The first one was a big bass. This one is a small bass, but we'll take it. At least it wasn't complete failure. That happened to you at Copper with a big fish? Well, that's less entertaining when it's a big fish. These kohakus are coming out pretty nice right now. Oh, that's a Narumi actually. Has it been kohakus? Yeah, kohakus as well. Man. So we've had at least 4 different koi types. Majority are oranges, but... Alright, so one rotation. Get locked in on that jig step. No, come on. Doesn't seem to matter. Ooh. There's a fish we haven't seen on this account yet. Took forever to get jig step. Oh, so sad. Hit it again. That might be the same fish. Largemouth. No, sorry, smallmouth. I missaw the smallie. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. It's like night and day in terms of quality fish. Now that we have jigging unlocked. Yeah. We're getting very close to level 14 because some of these fish are worth like multi-thousand XP. Okay, maybe we can actually catch this one. That's amazing. I'll send it back as soon as I unlock them. I love it. Such confidence. Burning our reel up. Yo, that F1 just gave me a card, by the way. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this fish is still on. We're gonna troll towards him a little bit here. He can't spool us. We've got too much line on the reel, but we might as well get a little closer to him. I'm so curious. Is that my first F1 card? I think it is. Okay, that's cool. Imagine if this is a smallmouth. Think it's a drum? Oh, we're kind of cooked if it's a decent drum. I mean, I guess we might eventually get it in, but... Look at that. He is on the bank, basically. I don't know that I want to get too much closer. I'm just gonna Yo, Alec, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm gonna just pull this up towards him, and then we'll stop the engine. That should be good. That way we can go ahead and stand up again, and we'll just hang out with him till he's tired, hopefully. I'm so excited for new players that this is the kind of experience they can have. Like, by level 13 or whatever, you can be doing this kind of bass fishing and holding on for dear life, hoping to get a fish in. Some of them will get away, some of them you'll get in, but it's really fun. It does make me want to upgrade just a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, butterfly peacock, largemouth, smallmouth. There's so many options of what it could be. Could be something pretty nice, though. Now, if it's a drum or a catfish, I mean, it's not a catfish, but if it's a drum or, I don't know. Yeah, that's right, sire. And yet, I feel like it's a, I don't know. The ratio of how often you have to do this versus how exciting of a fish it's going to be seems to be a lot more in your favor at elk. In some ways, if you have this small a gear, like every fish potentially feels like this at Quarry, and a lot of them are not worth it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just too big a fish for the starter gear, for the gear like this. But these fish are appropriate for this gear, and only the rare, really nice fish does this to you. The old Nantucket sleigh ride. If this fish could have spooled us, it would have spooled us. We had there was no way to stop this fish. We're just holding on for dear life. I think it's starting to get tired, but it's still pulling a little bit. Whatever this is at copper, it's also kind of stubborn. Oh, Xander. I'm not trying to silver lining your experience, but it does seem like you at least, whatever you're doing is in a sense working. Now you just got to wait for the right RNG to roll. Yeah, this fish is starting to come in now. He may still have a run or two left in him, but you can tell he's getting tired. Yeah, that's right, sire. I agree with you. Lots of different fun experiences you can have, and some opportunities to learn stuff that you couldn't learn early in the game as easily. Well, unfortunately, both these fish are kind of coming in at the same time. No way. No way he just went for another run. I don't want to lose either one of them, to be honest with you. Okay, we got that in. Good. Alright, let's see what this is. Oh, that looks like a bass, right? Or is that a drum? Oh, is that a drum? Were you right? That's a freshwater drum, isn't it? Well, that's probably worst case scenario, right? In terms of, if we had caught a bass that size, that's a game changer. But that's still like, holy cow. A Nantucket sleigh ride is when you're whaling and the whales. Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. That's cool, Teresa. 4 task challenges, 2 tasks. Dang. That was a fish right there. That was a stinking fish. Look how close to level 14 we are now. Oh, you can't see. It's like, we need 3,400 XP. Is that right, Ramathor? So, that's a good, like, reminder that the largest bass, you know, would probably be sort of like that, where most bass are going to be less than that. Sorry, koi spot. I'm using large 1 hooks. Large 1 hooks. All right. Speaking of copper, let's see if we have any cafe orders. It looks like we really don't. None of what we're fishing for is in the cafe right now. Oh my goodness, chat. That's 2,000 silver. How long a day was that, though? An hour 52? 2,000 silver in an hour 52? Wow. My goodness. And then, do we have any cafe? All right, we've got the largemouth bass, so that's 41. We've got, that's 89, that's 90 silver because the bluegill. So that's 90 right off the bat. 90 plus 131 more, so that's 220 or so silver. Not bad. We had back-to-back pretty good, like, hour-and-a-half sessions at Elk. Especially for this level. I mean, that's all of a sudden we're back up 229 silver. I did want to check really quick. Y'all made a suggestion. Now, if we're patient enough, if someone's patient enough to wait till I think it's level 16, y'all had suggested like one possible upgrade from what we're using now could be waiting till the Bird 2 GSX. Now this requires level 15. So that would be 1,000 silver. But it'd be a lot stronger. And then the spinning rod was linear. S68ML. So this one. That's not bad. Yeah. It's not bad. Pretty cool. That would be an upgrade. That goes up to 11 kilo. $11.5. 12. At least that one's up to 14. Now you're spending a little more on it. But I think the max drag is 8.6. And like we were talking about earlier, the mech weight's pretty heavy, so you could go a little heavier, but you don't really need to here. It would just be that would be a nice upgrade. And I feel like I have I've looked at this before, right? Is the smart, did we already upgrade the smart, or can you upgrade the smart? All right, that would just make it. Oh, we've already upgraded it, haven't we? We've got the original 8. Yeah, we've already upgraded it. All right. It's a fun setup. That's all I'll say. Okay, thank y'all for hanging out. We made it at almost 5 hours today, which considering factors that y'all don't need to hear about, me complaining, it's pretty amazing. But anyway, awesome to hang out with you. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Tight lines, everybody. Hope y'all have a great one.